Welcome to my channel MS Old Coins Deep Dive into the world of hidden treasure. Today, we are not just looking at a piece of metal. We are holding a tangible piece of history, a snapshot of a commonwealth, and potentially a very nice little payday. We're talking about the 1975 Australian 50-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. First up, let's talk about the coin itself. What exactly are we holding? This is a single, magnificent 50-cent piece struck by the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. It's not just any coin. It's a beautiful example of Australian numismatic art, featuring the iconic dodecagonal or 12-sided shape that makes it instantly recognizable. This particular coin is part of the standard circulation series, but that doesn't mean it's ordinary. It's a piece of the 1975 legacy. Now, let's travel back in time to understand why this coin was made. The year is 1975. Australia had switched to decimal currency in 1966, and the original 50-cent coin was a large, round piece made of 80% silver. However, the price of silver skyrocketed, making the metal in the coin worth more than its face value of 50 cents. People started hoarding and melting them down. So, in 1969, the mint switched to a new, 12-sided shape made of a cheaper copper-nickel alloy. The 1975 coin you see here is a product of that new era, a beautifully engineered solution to an economic problem. But why is this specific year, 1975, so valuable? The key lies in its mintage numbers. While millions were produced, the 1975 circulation figure of just over 19 million is actually lower than many other years in the 1970s. For example, the 1976 issue had over 27 million coins. This simple fact of supply and demand makes the 1975 coin a more desirable find for collectors who are always hunting for the scarcer dates in their collections. Let's get into the specifics of its creation. The design is a masterpiece. The obverse, or the head side, features the elegant second portrait of a young Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the renowned artist Arnold Machin. She is depicted wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The reverse, or tails side, is equally stunning, showcasing the Australian coat of arms supported by a kangaroo and an emu, a design by Stuart Devlin. It's a true symbol of Australia. So, is it really that valuable? The answer is a resounding yes, but with a huge asterisk. The value depends entirely on its condition. A coin that has been jingling in pockets for 50 years will look very different from one that was carefully stored away. For a standard circulated 1975 50-cent coin, the value can be as low as 61 cents to a few dollars. But that is just the beginning of the story. The real magic happens when we talk about coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. This is where the excitement begins. For coins that have never been used in circulation, the prices start to climb significantly. A coin graded MS-63, mint state 63, can be worth around $10.60. Bump that up to MS-64 and you're looking at $35. Reach the incredible grade of MS-65 and the value jumps to $54.30. And if you are lucky enough to find one graded MS-66, you could be holding a coin valued at an impressive $85. That's a fantastic return on a 50-cent piece. But wait, there's more. The Royal Australian Mint also produced a special proof version of this coin in 1975. These are not for circulation. They are struck with specially polished dies and planchets to create a flawless, mirror-like finish. Only 23,000 of these proof coins were ever made. Because of their extreme rarity and beauty, these proof coins are highly sought after and command a much higher premium than their regular circulation counterparts. Now let's talk about the absolute ceiling, the maximum value. While standard high-grade coins can fetch close to $100, the true jackpot lies in error coins. Imagine a 1975 50-cent coin that was struck on a double-clipped planchet, a blank that was improperly cut. An error like this recently sold for $150. This just goes to show that a simple minting mistake can turn an ordinary coin into a highly valuable collector's item. And it doesn't stop there. Some major error coins, like those with significant planchet splits or clamshell errors, can be worth anywhere from $300 to over $1,000. There are even whispers and references to a mythical 1975 Australian obverse/Fijian 50-cent reverse, mule error, which, if it exists, could be worth an estimated $4,000. While this is the stuff of legend, it proves the immense potential value hiding in your chain. However, it's crucial to have realistic expectations. The maximum value you can sell a standard, non-error 1975 50-cent coin for is highly dependent on getting it professionally graded. A coin graded MS66 is truly exceptional for this year. To achieve these top-tier prices, the coin must be in flawless, museum-quality condition. It's the difference between finding a nice shell on the beach and discovering a flawless, rare pearl. So how much can we sell it for? For the average coin you might find in a piggy bank, you're probably looking at its face value of 50 cents or a little more. But if you have one that looks like it was just minted, you could be looking at a value of $54 to $85 or more. And if you possess one of those rare proof coins or, even better, a dramatic error coin, the sky is the limit, with values easily reaching into the hundreds and potentially thousands of dollars. This is why I'm so motivated to get you to check your collections right now. Look at your 1975 50-cent coins with a new eye. Don't just see a coin, see potential. See a piece of history that could be worth far more than its face value. The thrill of the hunt is real, and the reward could be substantial. Every single coin in your possession has a story, and some of those stories come with a very happy ending. This 1975 coin is a fantastic example of how a common item can become a valuable treasure. Its value isn't just in the metal it's made of, but in its history, its design, and its rarity. It represents a pivotal moment in Australian monetary history, and it connects us to a past era. That's what makes coin collecting so incredibly compelling. You are a temporary guardian of history. The journey from a 50-cent piece to a potential $100 or more investment is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics. It proves that value is not always about what something is, but about what it represents and how well it has been preserved. So, the next time you get change, take a moment. Look at the date. Look at the condition. You might just be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. And that, my friends, is the true value of the 1975 Australian 50-cent coin. It's a reminder that treasure is everywhere. You just need to know where to look. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. Don't forget to check your spare change, and as always, happy hunting. Next coin, the 1984 Australian 50-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II, is not just a piece of spare change. It is a sleeping giant in the world of numismatics. While many overlook the coins in their pocket, savvy collectors and investors know that the most valuable treasures are often hiding in plain sight. Today, we are going to uncover the incredible potential of the 1984 50-cent coin, revealing why it is a must-have for any serious collection, and why its value is poised for an exciting future. Let's start with the raw data because numbers tell the most compelling story. The Royal Australian Mint produced a substantial number of these coins for circulation, with a total mintage of 26,281,000 pieces. On the surface, 26 million sounds like a lot, and in some ways it is. But when you consider the vast population of Australia and the number of coins lost, damaged, or melted down over the decades, the number of high-quality surviving specimens becomes much smaller. This is the first principle of value, scarcity. A coin's worth isn't determined by how many were made, but by how many exist in collectible condition today. Beyond the standard circulation strike, the Royal Australian Mint also produced a limited run of 61,000 proof versions of this coin. Proof coins are struck with specially polished dies and planchets, resulting in a mirror-like finish that is stunning to behold. These were not intended for general circulation, but were sold to collectors and in special mint sets. With only 61,000 ever made, the proof version of the 1984 50 cent is significantly rarer than its circulation counterpart, and this rarity is a major driver of its current and future value. Now let's talk about the coin's design, because beauty and history add intangible value that collectors crave. The obverse features the iconic second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by the renowned artist Arnold Machin, showing the young queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland diamond tiara. This specific portrait was used on Australian coinage from 1966 to 1984, making the 1984 issue one of the last to feature this classic design before the transition to the Makhlouf bust in 1985. This gives the 1984 coin a sense of historical finality, marking the end of an era for Australian currency. On the reverse, the coin displays the magnificent Australian coat of arms, supported by a kangaroo and an emu, designed by the talented Stuart Devlin. This is perhaps the most iconic and beloved reverse design in Australian decimal coinage. It is a powerful symbol of national identity, and its detailed engraving is a testament to the skill of the mint. Holding this coin is like holding a piece of Australian heritage, a miniature work of art that represents the nation's unique wildlife and history. The sheer aesthetic appeal of this design ensures it remains a favorite among collectors worldwide. So what is this coin worth right now? The value varies dramatically based on condition. For a standard circulation coin, the value in mint state grades can range from around $4.60 for a lower grade MS62 up to $49 for an exceptional MS67. These are not life-changing sums, but they represent a significant premium over the coin's face value of 50 cents. An MS67 coin, for instance, is worth nearly 100 times its face value. This demonstrates that even common coins can command impressive prices when they are in pristine, uncirculated condition. However, the true magic happens when we look at the proof versions and potential errors. Proof 1984 50 cent coins, with their impeccable finish and limited mintage, can sell for substantially more. While a standard circulation coin might be worth a few dollars, a certified proof coin in a high grade can easily fetch between $50 and $150 or more. The market for high-quality proofs is consistently strong because collectors are always seeking the best possible examples of a coin. The 1984 proof is a key date for many collectors completing a set of Australian proofs from this era. But the most thrilling aspect of this coin is the potential for errors. As with any mass-produced item, coins can have minting mistakes that make them extraordinarily valuable. While there isn't a widely publicized major error specific to the 1984 50 cent like there is for other years, the possibility always exists. For example, a 1984 $1 coin struck on a wrong planchet sold for a staggering $2,800. Imagine if you found a 1984 50 cent coin with a similar error. Even minor varieties can be worth $20 to $250. The hunt for these rare errors is a huge part of the excitement of coin collecting. Now let's look to the future. Can the 1984 50 cent coin be valuable in the future? The answer is a resounding yes. The coin market, like any investment market, is driven by supply and demand. As time passes, the supply of high-grade 1984 50 cent coins will only decrease as more are lost or damaged. At the same time, the number of collectors is growing globally, particularly in Australia and other Commonwealth nations. This increasing demand against a shrinking supply is a classic recipe for price appreciation. Consider the historical trends. Coins from the 1960s and 1970s that were once considered common have seen their values steadily climb over the decades. The 1984 coin is now over 40 years old, and it is entering a phase where it is becoming increasingly sought after by collectors who specialize in 20th century coins. As the baby boomer and Gen X generations who grew up with these coins reach retirement age, many are turning to coin collecting as a hobby and an investment, further driving up demand. We must also consider the emotional and historical value. Coins are tangible links to the past. The 1980 450-cent coin is a piece of the 1980s, an era of significant cultural and economic change. For many Australians, it evokes memories of their childhood or a simpler time. This nostalgic connection adds an intangible value that cannot be quantified but is very real in the marketplace. Collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that tell a story and connect them to their heritage. What is the maximum value this coin could reach? It's impossible to give an exact figure because the coin market is dynamic. However, we can look at comparable coins to gauge its potential. The 1966 round 50-cent coin, which is 80% silver, is now worth many times its face value. While the 1984 coin is not silver, its status as one of the last coins with the match in portrait gives it a unique collector appeal. We could realistically see mint-state examples of the 1984 50-cent consistently selling for over $100 in the next decade, with perfect MS-68 or MS-69 specimens, if they exist, commanding prices of $500 or more. For the proof versions, the future is even brighter. With only 61,000 minted, the proof 1984 50-cent is a genuinely scarce coin. As the years go by, many of these proofs will be lost, damaged, or broken out of their original packaging. The number of certified, high-grade proofs will dwindle, making them increasingly rare and valuable. We could easily see the value of a top-grade proof 1984 50-cent double or triple in the next 10 to 20 years, potentially reaching $300 to $500 or more. This represents a fantastic return on investment. The maximum value is ultimately limited only by what a collector is willing to pay. At auction, rare and desirable coins can shatter all expectations. If a unique error variety of the 1984 50-cent were to be discovered, it could sell for thousands of dollars. Even without a major error, the combination of historical significance, iconic design, and limited proof mintage makes this coin a prime candidate for significant future appreciation. It is an asset with a very solid floor, its face value, and a very high ceiling. You should be motivated to check your change, your old coin jars, and your family's collections right now. Every 1984 50-cent coin you find is a potential investment. If you find one in brilliant, uncirculated condition, you have found a small treasure. If you find a proof version, or even better, a coin with a minting error, you have found a truly valuable asset. Don't underestimate the power of the coins in your pocket. The 1984 Australian 50-cent coin is not just currency. It is a collectible, a piece of history, and an investment opportunity. Its value is already multiples of its face value, and its potential for future growth is immense. The market is ripe for these coins, and as more people become aware of their worth, the prices will only continue to climb. Now is the time to act before the secret gets out and prices skyrocket. We have seen that standard mint-state coins can be worth up to $49 today, which is a solid start. But the real money is in the proofs and potential errors. The proof version, with its limited mintage of just 61,000, is a hidden gem. It is a coin that serious collectors actively seek out, and its value is poised to increase steadily over time. Think of it as a small investment that you can hold in your hand, a tangible asset that will likely outperform many traditional investments. Don't be fooled by the common mintage figure of 26 million. As we've discussed, the number of coins in collectible condition is a fraction of that. Condition is everything. A coin that has been circulated and worn down is worth little more than its face value. But a coin that has been preserved in mint state, with all its original luster and detail, is a completely different proposition. That's why it's so important to look at your coins carefully and assess their condition. The history of this coin, its design, and its place in Australian numismatics all contribute to its allure. It is the final year of the match-in portrait for the 50-cent denomination, making it a significant date for collectors. This is a coin that marks the end of an era, adding a layer of historical significance that will only increase its appeal over time. Collectors love coins that represent milestones. So what is the maximum price you could get for this coin today? A standard circulation coin in MS67 could fetch up to $49 at retail. A proof coin could sell for $100 to $200 depending on the grade and the market. However, if you have a coin with a unique error, the sky is the limit. Could it sell for $500, $1,000, more? It's entirely possible. The coin market is full of surprises, and rarities often fetch prices far beyond expectations. In conclusion, the 1984 Elizabeth II 50-cent coin is a valuable and undervalued asset. Its current value ranges from a few dollars to over $100, but its future potential is much higher. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is a coin you should be paying attention to. It is a piece of Australian history that is both beautiful and potentially lucrative. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Start your search today, and you might just find a small fortune in your own pocket. Second coin, the 2004 Australian 50-cent coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II. Now, I know what you might be thinking. It's just a 50-cent piece, right? You probably have one sitting in your wallet or collecting dust in a jar somewhere. But what if I told you that depending on which 2004 50-cent coin you have, it could be worth significantly more than just 50 cents? We're talking about a coin that in its highest grades can reach up to $90, and in its stunning silver-proof format can be valued at around $65 or more. This is not just a piece of pocket change. This is a piece of Australian history, a story of national pride, and for some lucky collectors, a hidden treasure. First, let's get one thing absolutely straight. The 2004 50-cent coin is not a single coin. There are two main varieties that the Royal Australian Mint released that year, and understanding the difference between them is the key to unlocking its true value. The first is the standard circulating coin featuring the Australian coat of arms. The second, and far more interesting, is the commemorative coin that resulted from a nationwide primary school student design competition. These two coins have very different stories and very different values. So why was the 2004 student design coin created? In 2003, the Royal Australian Mint launched an extraordinary competition. They invited primary school students from all over Australia to submit their own designs for a new 50-cent coin. The theme was simply Australia. Imagine being a young child and having the chance to design a coin that would be held by millions of people. The response was overwhelming. The Mint received over 2,500 entries from creative young minds across the country. A panel of judges then selected 5 final designs based on artistic merit and suitability for minting. Then came the really exciting part. The Royal Australian Mint didn't just pick a winner behind closed doors. They put the power into the hands of the Australian people. The final 5 designs were put up for a public vote on the Mint's website. Australians from all walks of life participated, choosing their favorite design to be minted into a real coin that would enter general circulation. This was democracy in action, numismatic style. The winner of this incredible competition was a young Year 5 student named John Serrano from St. Peter's Primary School. Can you imagine the pride? A 12-year-old boy saw his artwork turned into a national coin. His winning design captured the heart and soul of Australia by featuring 3 of the country's most beloved native animals, the wombat, the lorikeet, and the koala. This design wasn't just a drawing. It became a piece of Australian identity. Now, let's talk about the history of the standard 2004 coat of arms coin. The 50-cent coin itself has a fascinating history. It was first introduced as a silver coin back in 1966 when Australia adopted decimal currency. But in 1969, it was changed to the large, iconic 12-sided copper-nickel coin that we know today. It is one of the heaviest coins in regular circulation anywhere in the world. The 2004 coat of arms coin continues this proud tradition. On its obverse, it features the fourth portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the renowned artist Ian Rank Broadley, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The reverse, designed by Stuart Devlin, features the Commonwealth of Australia's coat of arms, supported by a kangaroo and an emu. So with all this history, just how many people want to buy this coin? The demand is definitely there, but it's selective. The standard coat of arms coin had a massive mintage of 17,918,000. Because there are so many of them, they are classified as common. This means that while there is always a market for Australian coins, the sheer number of these coins in existence keeps the price for a standard circulated one quite low. However, the student design coin is a different story. While still not rare, with a mintage of 10,577,000, it is significantly more scarce than the coat of arms version. This relative scarcity, combined with the wonderful story behind its creation, makes it highly sought after by collectors. People want this coin because it tells a story. It's a piece of Australian childhood, a celebration of community, and a beautiful piece of art. Now for the question everyone is waiting for. What is its current value? Is it high or low? The answer, as with most things in coin collecting, is that it depends entirely on the condition. For a standard circulated 2004 coat of arms 50-cent coin, the value is indeed low, hovering around its face value or just a couple of dollars. But this is where it gets exciting. When you get into uncirculated or mint state coins, the value climbs significantly. For the 2004 small head coat of arms coin, a coin graded MS63 can be worth around $6.80, and an MS65 can reach $7.60. But if you have one in impeccable condition graded MS67, its value jumps to an impressive $20.60. That's a return of over 4,000% on its face value. But the real star of the show is the 2004 student design coin. Because it's more sought after, its values are higher. An MS63 is valued at $4.60, an MS65 at $11.10, and an MS66 at $22.10. But the prices really soar for the top grades. An MS67 is worth $52, and the absolute pinnacle, an MS68, can command a staggering $90. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that was once worth 50 cents, designed by a primary school student, could be worth $90 in your hands today. And we haven't even touched on the silver-proof versions. The Royal Australian Mint also issued a stunning 2004 50-cent coin in .999 fine silver. These were non-circulating coins, struck with a special proof finish, and often came in a presentation case with a certificate of authenticity. Because of the silver content alone, this coin has a melt value of over $38, but its collector value is even higher. The reference price for this beautiful silver-proof coin is estimated at around $65. Some sets containing these silver proofs have even sold for much more at auction. So is the value of the 2004 50-cent coin really high or low? For the average coin you find in your change, it's low. It's a common coin worth just 50 cents. But that's not the whole story. The true value is in the details. The value is high for the uncirculated student design coins and the silver proofs. The value is in the hunt for that pristine MS68 gem. The value is in owning a piece of Australian history and a design chosen by the Australian people. Don't just dismiss your 2004 50-cent coins. Take a closer look. Is it the standard coat of arms, or does it feature the beautiful native animals designed by John Serrano? What condition is it in? Is it shiny and uncirculated or worn from years of use? You might just be holding a coin that is worth $20, $50, or even $90. This coin is a testament to the fact that value isn't just about money. It's about the story, the history, and the joy of discovery. So check your change, check your old coin jars. That 2004 50-cent coin might just be your ticket to a small fortune and a fascinating piece of Australian heritage.